Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Forgotten Coast Fishing. If you're new to the channel, my name's David, and I fish inshore and offshore here on the Panhandle of Florida, showing you what I do to find and catch fish. If that sounds appealing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss my future videos. So we're nearing the end of winter here, and we're going to be taking the bay boat out today in the Gulf. We've got some nice calm seas, so I thought we'd kind of get out there, hit some of those reefs, maybe hit some buoys and markers, and see what we can pull up today. Man, before we take off, I just wanted to show you how calm it is today. You rarely see days like this, especially here mid-February or so. Man, it's going to be a great day. So beautiful, you can hardly tell where the water ends and the sky begins. All right, well, let's get out there. So we made it out. We're sitting in about 90 feet of water or so. We're going to start out with this double drop rig. This is 30-pound mono with two 3/0 circle hooks, and this is live shrimp that I have on here, and this is a 6-ounce bank sinker. Oh, yep, here we go, man. So, oh yeah, something came up and just snatched it. I don't see how you can go wrong with live shrimp down here. Usually I'm been using frozen shrimp recently, but I grabbed that live shrimp today thinking maybe we would catch something on those buoys over there, but man, this should be very effective down here on the bottom. This has got some decent pull to them. So it's gonna be a red snapper. Yep, red snapper. Nice one. He might make the 16-inch limit if he was in season to be able to keep, but he's not. There you go. Get him back down. Oh man, this wasn't on the bottom, but not even 2 seconds. All right, man, it feels like that red snapper again. I'd like to get another type of snapper that we could keep, but they're sure fun to catch. Man, they put up a good fight, but a lot of times they'll kind of give up once you get towards the surface. Smaller ones anyway, like this one. But there are a lot of red snapper out here. A lot of red snapper. These red snapper are lively, like I said, when you get them on the boat, and they'll poke you to death because they're shaking around so much. Okay, got him again. All right. He doesn't feel quite as big as those others, but a little bit more pull to him than maybe a vermilion snapper or a lane snapper or something like that that we could keep. Imagine it's a red snapper again, just maybe not quite as big. Man, but they are hitting this live shrimp moments after it hits the bottom, as you would expect. Yep, another red snapper. You almost hear a little bit of dejection in my voice in catching red snapper, which is kind of strange because these are highly sought after fish and really good to eat, but they're out of season right now. There you go. All right, so since we're just getting those red snapper on that live shrimp, I'm going to put out this Johnny jig. This is an 80 gram. Just to see if we can pull up something like a red grouper that we can keep, or something different than those red snapper. Those are fun to catch. I just kind of hate to keep pulling them up. And let's target something else instead. Now this could very well catch a red snapper as well, but you know, who knows, just something different. Oh, here he is. Oh, did I get on the bottom? Oh man, I think I grabbed the bottom, not a fish. Dang. See if we can get out of it. by going this way, pulling at it from a different angle. Oh man, I hate losing those jigs. Well, we know we're right on the reef. Oh yeah, I think I got it off. All right. So yeah, sometimes if you get snagged like that, just kind of go to a different part of the boat just to try to make that angle different, or let the slack out and let maybe the current kind of take it away from whatever it's stuck on. If you loosen it, then you know it might drop down and then the current will push it away or something. So just try different things instead of just automatically assuming you can't get it back and kind of jerking on it again. Oh, okay, got him. Got him. All right, what have we got here? On the jig here, he's not a big monster or anything. Let's see if we pulled up our red snapper again, or we got maybe something a little different. Red snapper again. Man. Even kind of a smaller one hit this jig. All right, there you go, red snapper. Okay, here we go. Oh man. All right. Oh, this is a little bit bigger than that last red snapper on the jig. Yeah, he kind of came up and hit it, and I kind of let it kind of keep falling, or just kind of let it kind of do its own thing without tearing or without jerking back. And I had him. And definitely this is the biggest one of the day so far, I think. All right, what do we have here? Oh man, oh man. Hopefully it's a big red grouper. Come on, big red grouper. Oh man, the shark's got it. Oh man, oh man. Check out that shark, everybody. Look at him after this. Oh man. Well, we did have a bigger red snapper, but the shark got his tail. Look at him right there. Man. He was a bigger red snapper, I think. Well, these guys aren't in season, and unfortunately, the shark's gonna get the rest of them when I turn him loose. But since he's out of season, we're still not allowed to keep him, even though he's been bitten in half. And I guess I can kind of see that logic, as ridiculous as it may sound a little bit. Oh, poor red snapper. He's giving it all. But I can kind of see the logic in that. Somebody could come out here, take their knife and just cut the tail off, claim a shark got it, you know, and keep it. But nonetheless, it's a shame that we got to let something like that happen instead of taking it home and eating them. Imagine this shark's gonna come up and get him in a second. Oh, there he goes. I knew it was a matter of time. All right, so we moved a little further out. We're at about 100 feet right now, and I dropped down this double drop rig with the live shrimp again, just to kind of see what's down here. Man, this current is really clipping along. I've got this 6-ounce sinker. I don't like to go too much heavier. Oh, here we go, because you can't feel things as well. All right. Oh man, let's tighten up our drag a little bit. Let's see, hopefully our 7 or so more miles gets us something a little different than the red snapper we were getting on that earlier reef. Kind of feels like it, but you never know till you see them. Red snapper. Can't complain. We're catching some fun fish and some fun fighting fish. I just wish we could put a few of these in the box. All right, so I've changed things up. Since I'm just getting red snapper on that live shrimp or that jig, I went ahead and retied another 30-pound leader 3/0 circle hook double drop rig, but this time I put a couple small pieces of frozen shrimp just to see if that maybe does attract, you know, a lane snapper or vermilion, thinking that maybe those bigger live shrimp, those red snapper, are getting to them first. And maybe with this frozen shrimp, they'll leave that alone and something else like a vermilion, whoops, there was a hit, can grab it instead. Okay, all right, come on. Let's see what we've got here. Not as much weight as you would expect from a red snapper. All right, come on. Come on, something other than red snapper, please. Oh, a triggerfish. Well, we asked for it. We asked for something else other than a red snapper, and we got it. So we certainly can't complain, but this is a triggerfish, and he's too little and out of season. So we've got to put him back too, but we got something else other than a red snapper. So maybe we're on to something with lightening up our shrimp or lightening up our hooks or going smaller with things. Maybe we'll attract these fish that hopefully we can get in the box. Okay, here we go. Again. Oh man. This is gonna be a bigger one than that last one. So, fortunately, I feel like we got a red snapper again. All right, we probably should think about doing something totally different. Let's kind of look at our list of reefs. Maybe try to find a different kind of reef altogether, or something different to make it have a better chance to get something other than these red snapper, because that is all we're getting besides that one triggerfish. I mean, I think we would probably have our limit. A couple of these I think were above the 16-inch minimum size, but you know, most of them are a good bit smaller than keeper size. Well, I'm going to look at things and see what we can do to maybe increase our chances for something for the box, or maybe just something other than these red snapper. All right, so we moved again. Now we got a little light rain, but that's all it is. That was kind of forecasted, but hopefully that's good luck. Anyway, I'm gonna do this same old double drop rig with the live shrimp, and I fed them through the body like I did a few minutes ago. But I kind of don't want to say it out loud, but depth finder looks a little better than it has been all day as far as, you know, smaller type marks. But there again, we'll see. Oh, I didn't tighten my drag up from before. Here we go. All right. Oh man. Oh, man, something kind of clicked, like something tore, but he didn't get off. This is just 30-pound mono 3/0 circle hooks, and this fish has got some weight to him. He's kind of got some dead weight all of a sudden. He was trying to get down to the reef. Now it's just oh man, another big old red snapper. Big old red snapper. That's the biggest one of the day. Yeah, he would have been our keeper, definitely, if he was in season. That's a nice red snapper right there, especially on this smaller outfit. All right, check him out. He's about 19.5, but he would be a good keeper snapper if only he was in season. All right, but he gets to go back. Man, I got to start using this boga grip more often. Like I was saying earlier, those red snapper can really get you. And that time that gill plate went right across my finger. Give me a little bit of a cut. All right, now that we got those dolphins circling, it's getting a little later in the afternoon. I'm gonna work my way back and stop at some of these more shallow reefs and see what we can pick up there. All right, so we've moved back in. Had to dodge some rain, or really go through rain. But you can see I'm not that far off from shore anymore. Kind of got some company of some people too. But you can see some rain all around us. But right now we're good with the rain. But anyway, I'm here and I'm gonna drop these shrimp back down and see if we can get something else besides red snapper. Not complaining, but just to break up the day would be kind of nice. Okay, all right, I think we got him this time. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, kept kind of pulling them out of their mouth, or they kept, oh, it's a mangrove snapper, everybody. Check out this mangrove. Check him out. Mangrove snapper. Now he's a little on the little side, so I think I'm gonna throw him back. Nice little mangrove. He's probably about 10, 12 inches or so, but they only have to be 10, which we probably could have kept him, but he's a little on the little side. Be nice to get one a little bit bigger. All right, well, got something for the box technically. We just didn't put him there, but man, we spent all day 20, 30 miles out in this little bay boat, and the fish we were kind of more after are right here, but you never know till you get out and try different things. Okay, here he is again. All right, oh, this one's got more weight to him. Yes, this one's definitely got more weight to him. Let's see if we can get him up. Hopefully it's another mangrove, but this time it is a nice mangrove. All right, everybody, check him out. Check this nice mangrove out. Now he's going in the box for sure. Let's get a measurement on this guy. Squeeze the tail just like that because it's an overall measurement. And he's 14, right on the dot. So check him out, everybody. Nice 14-inch mangrove snapper. Well, let's get him in the box and get our shrimp back out there. Oh man, here comes our rain. Hopefully it's just passing real fast. Fortunately, it's not cold. It's mid-February here. Oh, here he is again. All right, yep, we got him. All right. Is he still there? Yep, he's still there. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be bigger than that last one. And it is, oh man, we caught one of these the other day. These are those cubious or something like that. A subscriber kind of let me know what I had caught. Cubious, something like that. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but they croak. I don't know if you can hear that with all this rain splattering, but they make a little croaking noise. They got a little mouth, and they're this deep bronze brown color. And what's distinctive to me about them, this first dorsal fin, you know, it's kind of separated from the longer second one, and plus that croaking. But anyway, let's get him back. That's the second one I've caught recently, and I can't remember, you know, catching one of those guys before. I might have just have forgotten. Well, this rain is coming down a little heavier, but man, I hate to go in catching fish, but hopefully this is just going to pass real fast. All right, here we go. All right, this is a little bit bigger. Hopefully it's our good mangrove. Although I don't think he's as big as the one we got in the box, but it is a mangrove. All right, let's see what he measures out to be. If he's 12, we'll keep him. If not, we'll throw him back. All right, well, he's 12 on the dot, so we'll keep him. But he's a few inches smaller than that other one that we caught, and you see there's a lot less orange in the smaller ones. Inshore, the smaller ones are almost all brown like this top part of this one. And, you know, as they get older, they get more orange and brighter colored. Well, let's get this little guy in the box. Well, check out that jellyfish. Aren't they so cool? All right. So we got a new, oh, here we go. Oh man. All right. I was about to say we got some new life in us. Oh, this is a nice one. And I was about to say, since there's 3 of us in my household, myself, my wife, and my son, our older daughters moved off and married and everything. I was about to say, and I already did it, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. I was gonna say, if we get one more mangrove, that'll be one fish a piece for dinner. We might think about heading on in, but I don't know, the rain is stopping and it's very tempting to stay a little bit longer. All right, well, this one's got that orange to him and he's probably about that same 12 inches, but let's check him out and see. No, he's a little bit bigger. He was about 13, but let's get him in the box. You don't get mangroves all the time, so when you get them, I like to get a few of them to put them in the freezer. They are some of the tastiest fish out here. Harry, you're all wet. Why don't you go up into the console where you won't get so wet? All right, here we go. Oh man. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Yep, a little bit bigger than I think we've gotten at this reef so far. Look at that, pap, 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 pap. Trying to get back down to the reef. Oh man, a triggerfish. There you go, he's doing his spin, you see that? Check him out. This is the telltale sign of a trigger. See how he's flattened himself out? That way he's got all that water moving over him to make him feel heavier. Yeah, well this would be a keeper trigger if it was triggerfish season. Definitely. They have to be 15 and this guy's probably 17 or so. Man, this is a nice triggerfish. That's why you don't want to get that finger in your mouth. I've made the mistake and tried to get my finger in there to get the hook off. Just kind of made a mistake. Man, those guys, oh, and you see he's just snapping like a snapping turtle up here. Well, let's get a measurement on him and get him back in the water. Yeah, he was about 15 and a half. So this guy would have been a nice keeper. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these fish that are quality just come up and just snatch it. I can feel some little nibbles and things by something that's a little smaller. There's another mangrove. All right, number 4 mangrove. And he's gonna be a keeper too. Man, these are nice mangrove. They obviously get bigger than this, but these are some nice eating fish and they've got a good bit of meat on them. They're a thick fish, as you can kind of see. So their fillets are on the thick side. They've got meat all the way up to the head, all the way to the tail. So even for their size, you can get some nice, tasty meat out of these guys. Well, let's get number 4 in the box. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head on in. So we got some time to clean these fish, but we'll see you at the cleaning table. All right, we're gonna go ahead and clean these mangrove. You can see I bled them out. And what I did is I took a knife, right as I put them in the ice chest, and just kind of cut through the gills and this little connective part right here. That'll bleed out the fish and just give you a little bit nicer fillet, a little less bloodline in it. Okay, and then our first tip, what I'm gonna do is I kind of go ahead and kind of feel where those gill plate ends. And it's about right here. And they kind of have an irregular shape. It kind of comes in and it kind of goes back out. So if you kind of feel that, you want to go right behind that so you don't miss any meat. So start at the pectoral fin, find that furthest part of the gill plate, and I kind of try to go right up behind it and underneath of it and cut all the way to the belly like this. Now the next step, what I do is I start my knife right here where the tail meets the body, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a puncture, and then going sort of backwards, I'm gonna follow the back of this fish all the way to that cut that you made when you cut it across this way. Then you can take your knife and you're just gonna kind of slowly and easy get this fillet from these bones. What you have to watch out for is that you follow on top of these bones that you see right here. It's easy to get your knife underneath of them and start to get into the other fillet on the other side. So if you just kind of go slow, if you feel yourself starting to kind of get up under these bones, then you can kind of back off and kind of correct it. Now, once you get to the backbone. You see the backbone right here. What I do is about midway of the fish, I'm going to run my knife all the way through the fish, about to the spot where you cut earlier when you were, making your initial cut. Then, with my knife kind of flat against the backbone, I'm just going to run my knife all the way back through to the tail. And that's going to go ahead and cut the rest of this fillet off. I like to do it that way because you're going to have to get this meat off the rib cage next. And it's a lot easier if you can move this around and it's not kind of tied down. So next, you have to come up over these ribs and over. So just kind of let your knife kind of cut this meat off. Don't work it too hard so you don't cut those bones. And the knife will kind of let you know where you need to go. Once you get to about this part, once you start seeing the skin, you can go ahead and take your knife and on top of these bones, just go ahead and cut it all the way off. Now, there's some meat in here. You can see that there is, but it's full of bones. So you can see how when you're filleting this, when you stand this up like this, how you have to kind of come up and over. So that can be some of the trickiest part to these snapper type fish. All right, so we're just going to do the same thing to the other side. And there you go, some nice, tasty mangrove snapper fillets. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cook up some of those mangrove snapper fillets tonight. And we're going to do an oriental type dish tonight. You know, we're certainly blessed to live along the Gulf Coast here. So we get to eat fresh fish quite a lot. So we're always looking for different type of recipes. The good thing about this recipe, not only it's very tasty, but also it doesn't use a lot of ingredients. All right, so I went ahead and made our sauce, and what this consists of is 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 2 tablespoons of water, as well as 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then 1 teaspoon to about a tablespoon of sesame oil, just kind of dependent on taste. And so we're gonna set that aside and move on to our next step. And the next step I've already done actually for us, and that's just coating this fish with the cornstarch. I've also gone ahead and diced up our scallions. Now I wanted to show you how we do this. So this is our ginger, and when I'm looking for ginger, what I'm looking for in the grocery store, if I can find it, is kind of a long piece, because what we want to do is julienne this ginger, which means long thin strips. So what I think our first step in this piece would be is to kind of get all these little nodes off and kind of to make one long piece out of it. Now the next thing you want to do is get this skin off, and there's several ways to do this, but I found the easiest way, and what I was taught to do, is to just take a spoon and you can just get that skin off just by raking this spoon over it. And then the next step, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of start cutting this in half. And what you want to do, you want to get this in as evenly strips as you can so that it cooks about the same speed. All right, so as you can see, I've got this ginger cut into this julienne strips as evenly as I could. Now our next step, I just went ahead and turned our stove on to a medium low, and go ahead and get a couple tablespoons of just your standard vegetable oil in. You could use peanut oil, you could use grapeseed oil, that kind of thing. But the main thing with this and with this ginger, what we're gonna do is fry it. But what you want to do is kind of take it easy and go as slow as you can. You can always turn the heat up, but if you put this ginger in and cook it too hot, it's going to burn it too quickly. And it's not a bad idea to actually put this ginger in while this oil is a little on the cooler side, and then bring it up to temperature while it's in there. I'm going to go ahead and put our ginger in. And so basically the rest of our recipe is we're going to fry this ginger up till it's golden brown, remove the ginger, and then use that same oil to cook our fish. And then towards the end, when we plate everything, we're going to put this fried ginger as well as the scallions on top of the fish. So we're just going to kind of watch this, kind of adjusting the heat as we need to, just being real careful not to cook it too fast or burn it. All right, so this ended up going about 9 minutes. And I wound up turning this up to closer to a medium. But look at that, that's exactly what you want, that golden type brown. Now just go ahead and set these to the side. And what we're going to do next is we're going to cook our fish in this cast iron pan. And this is going to be our oil that we're going to use to cook the fish. But if you were using something thicker like red snapper, you could actually use that wok for the whole entire process and do more like a standard kind of stir fry in that. But these mangrove snappers are a little bit more thin, so we're going to cook those as whole fillets in this cast iron pan. Now what this is, I've salted these fillets and then coated them with cornstarch. And the reason you use cornstarch is really for two reasons. It's going to help retain that moisture inside the fish, as well as provide a thickening agent for the sauce as a final product. All right, so we cooked that fish about 3 to 6 minutes on each side on kind of a medium heat with this cast iron skillet. And I pulled them off and put them on a paper towel to kind of drain. But our last step is to go ahead and put our sauce that we mixed up earlier into this hot pan. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off the heat. And that's all there is to this recipe. Now we're just going to plate it up. All right, so to plate this up, go ahead and make some rice. Put that on a plate. Get your fish on top of that and just spoon some of this sauce over. Then you could add some of these fried ginger strips. These go a long way, so kind of adjust to taste about how many you want to put on there. And then top with some scallions. And here you go. Here's our oriental fish with our fried ginger strips. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you won't miss my future videos. So until next time, hope to see you on another episode of Forgotten Coast Fishing.